Hi friends, this is Mrs. Darwin from Towson Presbyterian Preschool, and I'm going to read to you a book today that's always been one of my favorites, and you've probably read it many times, but I thought it would be fun to hear it again. This is called The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Carole, and you may start to see caterpillars out and about, maybe not quite yet, but in the next month or two. Because you know what comes after caterpillars? Butterflies. I'm really excited about that. So, let's see what happens in this cool book. The pictures are so good. You ready? In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. There it is. One Saturday morning, the warm sun came up and pop! Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. He's still very small. He started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. Do you guys see the holes? All these fruits have holes in them where he ate. There he is. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he was still hungry. I don't think I'd be hungry if I ate all that. Let's see about more. Oh my gosh. Yeah. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomachache. Look at his little face. Does he look like he feels good? No, sir. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that, he felt much better. Oh my goodness, now he wasn't hungry anymore. And he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. This is what he is looking like. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon and he pushed his way out. And what? He was a beautiful butterfly. Wow. That is a beautiful book. Even the end pages is beautiful. I think all these holes are like the holes that were in the food. Wow. And the back cover even. Look how cute he is. There you go. He ate through the leaf. So I love that book. That was one of my kids' favorite books when they were growing up. And I know at school we have it, and we even have like a big caterpillar and a little caterpillar that we can use to tell the story. So I'm glad I saved this book. I wanted to first tell you a little bit about caterpillars that you might not remember. I think many of you remember because we do often get caterpillars in school, and we get to have like a little, what do you call it? Like a net around, a net home around them, and let them grow and become a butterfly right in our classroom. And we get to check on them every day. And before their wings are ready, we feed them fruit, so to get them nice and strong and energizing, and let their wings get strong before they fly away. So let me show you a little diagram I drew. You've probably heard these things before, but I just wanted to show you. All right, so before you have a caterpillar, you have eggs, and the egg is usually deposited by the female butterfly on a leaf, usually the kind of leaf that the female knows the babies are going to want to eat when they come out of their eggs, because you have to give them food right away. When they come out, the first thing they kind of eat is their own egg, and the second thing they eat is the leaf or the plant that they are attached to. So there's lots and lots of little eggs, okay? And if you're lucky, about 1 out of 100 of them will become a nice caterpillar that, you know, didn't get eaten by a bird or something else in the meantime. So here's a caterpillar, and I actually drew it a lot like the one in the story. So a nice fat caterpillar. And when the caterpillar has eaten enough, just like in our book, even though I don't think that they eat human food, but the leaf, other kinds of things that a caterpillar would want, plant life, they will change. And actually what happens is, as the caterpillar grows from the tiny, tiny thing that was in an egg to maybe a big fat caterpillar, it has outgrown its skin a bunch of times, just like a snake. So a snake's skin doesn't grow with it. When a snake grows too big for its skin, it actually kind of molts. It sloughs off its skin and it leaves it behind. In fact, if you go hiking, sometimes you see snake skins around. Or if you go in a cave, maybe where a snake might or like to be, you might see more of them. So it's sort of like that, even though I don't think I've ever seen the skin of a caterpillar. I'm guessing it's too lightweight, probably gets kind of lost in your plants. But a snake skin, you'll see. So it's a little like that. And then when it's eaten enough and it's completely grown, as big as it's gonna get, it actually is going to slough off its last skin, and it's actually got sort of a special skin left. And it's very, very soft. And what it actually does is it's going to spin a little bit of silk, just like, imagine spider webs. You know how it's a silky, sticky web? They actually can do that too. And they stick it to a twig or a little tiny branch or under a leaf. And then their skin becomes quite hard, becomes the chrysalis. So that's actually what you're seeing. And inside of it, the caterpillar becomes the butterfly. It transforms. It transforms into this butterfly. And when it's ready, it does poke a hole through the chrysalis, cracks it open, wiggles its way out. It actually takes quite a while. When they come out, their wings are not ready to fly. They need to get their blood pumping. They need to stretch them out. They look kind of crumpled because they were in that tight little chrysalis, right? They're not going to be as wide and beautiful right away. So you may see them sitting in, on the twig, not far from the chrysalis, just hanging out, getting their warmth, getting their blood flowing, getting their wings harder. So there they are at the end. And once they've done that, they can fly away. So then, just to show you, once they are grown, when they're ready, if they're a female, what do? They lay eggs again. So that's how you keep getting new caterpillars and new butterflies. You have to have places, safe places, without chemicals and places that maybe birds won't eat them, and lay eggs, and then get them to grow into caterpillars, big fat caterpillars. Anyway, I'll give you a couple more facts about caterpillars and butterflies. It can take just a few days or a few months for an egg to hatch. That's a lot of variation, but my guess is there's some butterflies out there, or caterpillars, that are going to get quite big. So maybe that has to do with that. In comparison, your mom had you in her tummy for about 9 months. That's not quite a year. And an elephant has a baby in her tummy for 1.5 years, almost 2 years sometimes. But a little robin, and I bet you see those in your backyards, they're the ones that you see on the ground a lot of times eating bugs or trying to pull the worms out of the dirt. Their eggs hatch in 12 to 14 days. That's less than 2 weeks. That's really quick. So I thought that was exciting. Let me see. One more thing. Oh yes, when they're butterflies, 2 things. The butterfly has a long tongue, and with that tongue, it's sort of like a big straw. They will suck up nectar from flowers. They might suck the sap from a tree. They might get salts and minerals from kind of wet soil like mud or a puddle. That might be good, something that they need. They might like to feast on rotten fruit, so stuff that falls off the trees and nobody's picking up and no animals ate could go get rotten, but as they open up, all their juices are there. And then there's one funny fact. Sometimes some kinds of butterflies actually land on animal poop and like to eat that. I mean, suck on that, which was very, very enlightening to me. I had no idea. There are about 17,500 species of butterflies. That is amazing. So if you saw 10 different kinds of butterflies every day for 3 years, that's about when you would have seen all of the butterflies. I think I'm right about that. A butterfly flaps its wings at a rate of 5 beats per second, faster than I can do my arms. So I thought that was pretty cool. I wish I could do that. And the fastest butterfly is known to fly about 12 miles per hour. That's a 5-minute mile. I think a lot of humans would like to run a 5-minute mile. We are not that fast, most of us. There are people who can do it, but it's really, really fast. The largest butterfly that is known has a wingspan of about 11 inches. Can you imagine seeing a butterfly this big? And the smallest butterfly is a pygmy blue, and it's about this big. And it's only 1/2 inch, so it's really small. And butterflies can live from about a week to almost a year if they're lucky. So the last thing I wanted to say was, my class especially, we talked about migration in the fall. The monarch butterflies, when it gets cold, they can't survive. So they will fly all the way to Mexico. That's migration. But something I didn't know is that some butterflies hibernate. They might hibernate under some leaves or in a cave, or even somewhere in a house or a building if they're lucky, and stay somewhere warm and hibernate. Not warm, but protected, and not gonna be so cold that they can't survive. So I like that. Also, they use camouflage to protect themselves because lots of little animals would want to eat them, including my poodle. I know he tried to once. So camouflage is when you try to blend in to your surroundings, right? So if you were a butterfly that had a lot of orange on it, you might hang around orange flowers. A lot of butterflies are not as brightly colored. They might blend in with bark on a tree, or they might even look good like around the leaves. So they would try to blend in. Some of them have a very bad taste, or they smell bad to predators, to animals that would want to eat them. So that's like a skunk, right? A skunk can stink. That's one way that he prevents himself from getting eaten. So, they're even tricky. Sometimes they don't smell bad and they don't taste bad, but they look like an animal, a different animal that smells or tastes bad. So they kind of mimic it. And one more thing, sometimes they have really big spots on them and they look like eyes. If you look on the internet, you'll see a cool picture. There's ones that look like a little like a snake or even a frog, like a snake head or a frog. And it's because their spots mimic that, or they could even maybe look like a bird themselves. So I love that. All right, and I'm gonna show you real quick 3 crafts I did. And I'm hoping you get inspired to do something yourself. One I did with watercolors and just my fingers. Yep, you heard me right. I had watercolors and I mixed it up with a little bit of water, of course, and then I just dipped my thumb and made the caterpillar with multiple colors, made the sun, dragged my finger for the sun rays, and then I made a really colorful ground because the book is so colorful. It inspired me. I wonder what you could do. If you do not have watercolors, you can use regular paint. The other thing you can do is color on your finger, I think, with a really fresh marker, like a Crayola water-based marker. You might dampen your finger work if you want to do thumbprint pictures. I did a different kind of a caterpillar too. What do you think this is made out of? If you guessed part of an egg carton, you are right. And I made it look like the caterpillar in our story. But what if your favorite colors are purple and pink? Do you think you could make a cool caterpillar like that? Yes, you could. So if you don't have bright colored paints like I did, could you use markers? Yes, you could. Could you even attach stuff to it? Like if you have tissue paper, you could glue it on there and make it really colorful. I've seen really fuzzy caterpillars. Don't touch those, by the way. Sometimes the ones that really have interesting hair also have something in the hair or on the hair, like a little toxin, and you can get a little bit of an allergic reaction. So don't touch them, just look at them and think they're beautiful. But this kind is very safe because this is an egg carton caterpillar. Anyway, I think if your favorite colors are green and orange, like one of my friends, that's what you should paint him. If you like red and black, you should paint him that. If pink is your favorite color, why not a pink one? So don't just go by the book. Have fun with it. And then I wanted to show you, I'm going to take it apart really quick because I wanted to show you, this is a coffee filter. And I did use watercolors on this because it spreads out so well and it makes such big bright colors and they kind of blend in together, which is really nice. But if you don't have watercolors at home, that's okay. My class at least used Crayola water-based markers, washable markers, and colored in different areas, the colors that they wanted on a different craft this school year. And then we used a spray bottle and we sprayed it and wet it and they bled into each other, the colors did. And it was so beautiful. We actually made multicolored blues for snowflakes. So that was amazing. So this one was definitely made with my watercolors and my paintbrush, but there's different ways to do it. I'm gonna show you real quick. I take it, it's a circle, right? And I clamped it down like this. Is it starting to look more like a butterfly already? And I used a clothespin. And there you go. I actually did paint on my clothespin too. I made it yellow and red and I put a couple of eyes on there. So I also have magnet stuck to the back of it in case I wanted to stick it on my fridge. But if you don't have a magnet, don't worry about it. You can keep this anywhere in your room. Maybe you can even stick the clothespin on something and put your butterfly up. So that I hope you have some fun with. I'm just trying to use stuff that I have in my house, and I don't know what you have in your house. Maybe you have clay, or maybe you just want to make, you know, a Play-Doh one. I know a lot of my friends are really good at rolling out. So I've got one more thing, and this is new to me. It's a song, but it's to the tune of the Itsy Bitsy Spider, and it's a song about a caterpillar. You ready? The fuzzy caterpillar curled up on a leaf, spun her little chrysalis, and then fell fast asleep. While she was sleeping, she dreamed that she could fly, and later when she woke up, she was a butterfly. I hope you like that song, friends. You can sing it again, you can play it again if you want to learn the words, but it's a good one. So I hope you have a great week. I will be sending another YouTube video out in a couple more days, and I hope you guys are doing well and got out to play today. Take care.